Hi everyone, landscape mode this time. So I thought, following on from last week's talk about why bother with a bespoke psychometric, now I'm going to talk a little bit about what's the process for designing one. The obligatory dog letting off the lead. Hi Blue. Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, a second. 1, 2, 3. Go. Okay, you almost think he doesn't want to be with me. So, the process for building a bespoke psychometric. Step 1, decide what you're going to measure. It sounds obvious, but sometimes when we're presented with a particular construct that someone wants us to assess, it's not clearly defined. So, it might not be described in behavioural terms, might not be described specifically. So, sometimes we work with our clients to get that clear, or other times we ask them to flesh it out themselves. So first thing, be clear on what you want to assess. Secondly, we have a test blueprint design discussion where we get together for about half a day, maybe a little bit less, and we run through some key questions around the design of the tool. Things like length, things like item presentation format, things like degree of rigour when testing it, and the acceptable benchmarks. We talk about report outputs and the like. So we will guide you through that process. We'll then write up the test blueprint, send it to you for approval, and we can begin with the design. So then we will draft items or questions for the new psychometric. We usually design between 50 to 100% more questions than we think we're going to need, because some of them won't make the cut. So it's good to have a nice pool to choose from. We'll send those through to you for review. You can tell us if those look all right, whether there's anything in there you'd prefer that we removed. And we're then ready to go to pilot. Piloting, we will do on at least 50 people, ideally more, it's always ideally more. But for that, we're going to look at things like the distribution of ratings for a question. So is everyone endorsing it? In which case it's not really differentiating between people, too socially desirable. Or is no one choosing it? We'll also look at things like the internal consistency of the questions within a certain scale. Are they all measuring the same thing? We'll look at the distractor items. So the question in a multiple choice test, the ones that are wrong, is anyone choosing them? Or are they too obviously wrong? So we'll do all that analysis. We'll look at qualitative feedback, how user-friendly was it to complete, etc. And we'll do a pass at revising it and honing it. And you'll then have your version of the test that's ready for going live. Now, one thing you can do at this stage is to compile a norm group or comparison group, minimum 100 people, ideally 300 plus, who have taken the test or questionnaire, and you can benchmark people's scores against. Some clients say this is impractical to get before we launch, so can we do it once we've gone live? And we've experienced doing that with a rapid turnaround time. Once we've got the final version of the test as well, we can build the report because we know exactly what we're going to be assessing, whether that's a simple profile chart, whether that's narrative text, whether that's static text for people to interpret themselves, or whether it's dynamic that changes according to how someone's responded. And then once the tool is live, typically in my experience, you need to wait until you've got large enough sample sizes and do things like predictive validity studies. Does it predict future performance? Concurrent validity studies, does it relate to performance now? Predictive as in, does it predict later stages in the assessment process? And you can also do things like adverse impact analysis. So when you've got large enough numbers in various different groups, whether that's age, gender, ethnicity, you can start looking at the average score and see if this varies. And you've got yourself a test. It probably takes about minimum, I'd say 2 months, maximum 18, depending upon the level of development you want to go to. Right, that's all for me. Let's just check the dog's still here. I think he's eating something. Hopefully it's not going to disagree with him later. Okay, bye.